Right. Oh my wordy, lemon of the curdy. Oh, right, for the first time in a very long time I feel really bad. Oh, look at me chair. No, I'm trying to find me chair. I'm trying to touch the chair because it looks too realistic. But look at that. Look at that. Look how comfy that chair looks. I want one. It doesn't. It doesn't, does it? Look at that. Look at it. Look at it. Look at it all. Look at it. It's beautiful. Hello, games. What have you done? Oh, my wordy. Oh, it's so weird because my chair that I'm sitting in is a completely different feel. It's like, for me, in real life, sitting on a metal chair. And this one looks really comfy. I mean, look at that. Well, this feels weird, but look at that.
I haven't tried this yet.
Oh, I've got floating hands. They're everywhere. Look at them. Oh, look at that, though. This is ridiculous. Look at it. I don't know what to say. I'm stuck. I'm stuck for words. Oh, I just want to hold on for dear life here. Help me. Oh, this is just so good. No, I want me mum. Right, okay. Right.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the LZ, and thank you for joining our 5th show. Our LZ NMS-CAST continues, and it's so good to see you all. So good to have you. And I hope you enjoyed our intro clip there from Mr. Game Mode, an excellent, wholesome content creator for No Man's Sky. I do recommend checking out your creators. So that was at Game Mode CSD. Check him out on Twitter, and he is Game Mode on YouTube. What a guy. I saw that earlier in the week, and I just melted from how cute that was. I just can't, right? I just can't with how adorable Mr. Game Mode is. So I'm glad he's enjoying VR, and I'm glad I got to experience VR sort of vicariously through him. What a guy. What a guy, folks. Thank you so much for joining tonight. We're going to talk through some interesting new items for No Man's Sky tonight. News and things that if you may not have caught some things, well, I want to cover these things for you. And then we're going to get into the conversation. We're going to bring in anybody that wants to join on the conversation tonight, starting with those folks who have joined the LZ. So there it is. We're going to talk about a lot of stuff tonight. I want to get your impressions from folks who have played VR. I want to talk about the current state of No Man's Sky and beyond. And then, yeah, we'll see where the night takes us, everybody. So first things first, a big event happened shortly after Beyond launched. And I'm a little disappointed in America. And here's why. Because our friends across the pond, if you're watching from America, you folks in the UK got together for a super awesome meetup. Look at all those handsome folks, right? Look at how awesome they are hanging out next to the billboard that was crowdfunded for Hello Games. And actually, Hello Games got a chance to take a selfie with that billboard as well. So, what is like the show's starting? I got Mrs. Claus bringing me milk and cookies over here. This is delicious. Look at that. Hello. Hi, Mrs. LZ. Look at that. Look, you can't even look at cookies, baby. I wasn't expecting that. Thank you, LZ, Mrs. LZ. Wow, we're eating milk and cookies tonight, y'all. But what an awesome get together we got here, right? Super awesome. I see MZK over there. I got L Plays Gaming hanging out. Quite a few people that I know from Twitter. Yeah, wow, what a group. There's Starman hanging out over there. I have to say, we need to step it up America. Miss LZ got a sister? She does, actually. And she's single, I believe. Right? Let me find out. Hey, Mrs. LZ, you got a sister and she's single, right? I can confirm. Mrs. LZ has a sister. And they're basically twins. So, I'm just saying. They look like 98% alike. So they probably could have done that whole sister-sister thing at one point for me. And, yeah. Anyway. Ivy Mike's trying to get me into terrible topics. But no, what an excellent meetup. And I'm jealous of this. I'm jealous of this because, and here I know the United States is a bigger country. I get it. So we need to let our powers combine here, everybody. And we need to do this. Whatever this is. So what's really cool, I didn't know sort of the details. I know that there was a gigantic meetup in the UK, which happened at the Three Pigeons. And some details, MZK put up a video earlier today to talk to some of the details. Not only did Hello Games, speaking of Santa Claus, not only did Hello Games come by and drop off a bunch of swag, but evidently Hello Games paid for a $200 tab for all of our travelers here to get sauced up at the Three Pigeons. Like, what a stand-up group, right? Like, I can't even. Like, I want this. This has to happen. So let's figure out how we're doing this. If it's somewhere in Texas, it could be done. And you know what? I think I was talking with the Nominati, the secret creator Twitter chat that is not so secret. Thanks, Cobra. I was talking with them because this is something we got to do here in the States, everybody. And a lot of the consensus that came from that conversation is that America is too big to have just one meetup, right? I mean, not everybody's going to have the way to travel from wherever it is they are. I mean, we can try to do like a central location or a popular location, but let's be honest. I mean, America's large enough to make that kind of get-together sort of not possible. So we really, what was brought up and got a pretty good ovation was sort of handling it like a PAX type of deal, right? Waking Titan Meetup did kind of work, though. It did. But again, it was sort of pinpointed to one location, right? It didn't do much for getting a ton of people together. Flights are cheap these days, sure. But even then, right? Some of those flights, it's not everybody. America's a place where you don't have a ton of emergency money to to do emergency travel and things like that. But we did bring up the idea of having it be kind of like a PAX thing. So if I understand it, PAX South happens in Texas, right? Am I correct on that? And I know there's a PAX West and a PAX East. So it's almost like we would do better by having multiple meetups. In sort of different locations, right? I got a lot of folks that were in the Midwest, right? So Chicago, Colorado, Nebraska. I'm in Nebraska myself. A lot of areas that are within a 6-hour drive of me. That is something I could definitely handle. And I got Cloud Runner in the chat too. That would be great to have like a Canadian meetup, right? We got a lot of Canadian travelers as well. That would be super awesome to have, right? So, yeah, definitely sort of I've seen a lot of St. Louis. Yep, I'm seeing St. Louis was a hot topic, right? I'm in Omaha myself, so you've got Omaha, St. Louis. You could do like something like Des Moines or just a nice convening area for everybody to get up to, and perhaps something in like like in DC or something like that. So you know, like there's a bunch of options that we could do. So let's hash them out, right? Let's talk about what we can do to. I would definitely do this thing. I'd definitely do this thing. Canadian meetups happening in the Niagara region. That's possible. That's different. That's different. Why not do regional chapters? You're absolutely right. It can be done. I would say it would be a massive undertaking to do something sort of like that, right? In just one meetup. So I think it's something we can discuss, and I would like to see sort of what everybody's ideas are, and perhaps maybe you can put them in the LZ Discord, or maybe this is something that Reddit could put together, because we can't let these UK folks punk us like this. We mustn't allow this to happen. So I don't know. I'm open to details. I would absolutely love. And here's the thing: it's been probably about 9 years since I've been to the East Coast, so it'd be something that I would be open to do it anyway. Somewhere on the East Coast, maybe in the sort of Maryland, Virginia, New York, New Jersey, whichever. I want to see New York anyway, right? New York City. That's right, Ivy Mike. I that would be a lovely location. I absolutely want to see New York City. That would be super awesome. But that media, look at these beautiful people. I see Robot Boy, and I for one thought that was Orbit TV in the middle there, but I guess it's not. But they look a lot alike. He looks a lot like Rasmus from The Rain. I kind of joked with him on Twitter, and he was like, close. So apparently I've misidentified Orbit. I just thought Orbit had that hair, but yeah. New York City would be a good spot for an Easter meetup, probably, right? And a lot of creators for No Man's Sky are out that way, too. I believe Cobra's in that general region. Jess Jared, Sword, Dan Before Time are in that general northeastern, eastern region, too. So that would probably be one of the more popular spots for No Man's Sky meetup. So I encourage it. Let's do it, right? There's nothing left but to do it, right? So, current events, I know, oh yeah, DM21 is out there too, I forgot about that. Yep, DM21's out there as well. No Man's Sky Beyond was a little bit of a buggy mess to start off with. We kind of threw it. We called it, right? We knew it was going to be a thing. We sort of had the idea that this was going to go down this way. It always does. Lots of crashes, freezes, some bugs. I haven't heard too much in regards to things like game breaking, but just sort of annoying bugs. There's some pop-in bugs, things like that. I think this might be the most patches I've seen from Hello Games in one concentrated period of time. And what we're talking about here is this is the PC version. This is the most recent patch that came out to the PC version. And this came out today for PS4 and Xbox. So this was a big one. Also, I saw a lot of positive buzz about this patch for the PS4 or the console version in general. A lot of celebration about this one. I haven't had a chance to test it yet. But I'm hearing a lot of positive things, like people are able to actually go to the main system in the Galactic Hub and check that out. Apparently that was a problem before. So they're getting work done, right? It's happening. You gotta have a little bit of patience, right? They'll get it fixed. They'll get it addressed. I know it's a pain in the nuts to wait this long. To do that, but it is what it is, right? Tiny team, big game. I'm surprised more things weren't broken, honestly. So, to go with that, I have a request. I want to tell you all a story before we start getting into the cool conversations about No Man's Sky, things like that. By the way, don't forget to check the description down below if you're looking to get into the conversation. We'd love to have you. But I want to tell you a story. I think it was like 2 or so days after Beyond launched. and I had somebody message me on Reddit. This kind of came out of the blue, by the way. DM21 Gaming's in the chat. What's up, buddy? What's up, BW? Good to see you, buddy. I had somebody reach out to me on Reddit. It's not often that I catch messages from Reddit. Mostly, it's just whenever I post any of my content or whatever, my notifications on Reddit are usually filled with salty people that are complaining that I dare to share a thing that wasn't a meme on Reddit. So it was kind of took me aback. It was an individual who started a YouTube channel, and they might be here. I don't know if they are, but I know they watch the LZ. So I want to help them out. I want to help them out, and I would like to request that those of you watching tonight help me out in helping this person. It's a small thing. This person is a creator who is trying to start up his YouTube channel. He's trying to grow, and he's just trying to get a little more recognition, right? He's super passionate about what he's doing. He's enjoying creating for his channel. And he reached out to me on Reddit for some pointers about. He's like, I like your show, LZ. I would like for you to take a look at my channel too and see if there's anything. What should I do to make my channel better? What would you recommend? And first off, that warms a man's heart for somebody to ask, hey, what is it that I can do, and what can I learn from you that would make me better? And I appreciate ever being in a position to help somebody out with that kind of help, right? So I looked at his channel, and there was some areas of opportunities like YouTube systemically, right? Things like SEO stuff, right? For search engine optimization for YouTube to be like, oh, that's a cool video. I should put it in your face. But sometimes there's a little bit more to helping somebody out, right? And so he also realized that there was something that it's an opportunity that he can't do anything about. And our channel here is Stutter Boy. And I don't want to put him out there, right? It's the name of his channel and things like that. But he asked me to see if we can help him grow his channel a little bit. So I've got a link that I want to leave him a little present. I'm going to put this in the chat for all of you. If you all could do me just a small favor, I would love this. I know this gentleman would love this. I would love for you to go to the link and just leave a comment on that video. Leave a comment on that video and just tell him LZ sent you. And just say hi, right? Or just tell him that, you're there. And let's give this guy some love, right? I'm a firm believer in taking care of your creators, right? The folks that are constantly passionate about what they do and what they and I want to give them a hand. So I would think it was super cool if you can go to his channel, leave a comment on that video. That's a video that he put up today, and I watched that, and he is trying to do interviews with people. He's trying to do people like in interviews, like he's trying to interview people in the Nexus, and I think that's pretty cool. Like I think he might have something on his hands here. I think that's pretty creative. Like going around and talking to random people in the Nexus, going, "What do you think of No Man's Sky?" and "What's good?" And I don't know. That would be cool. I think Hello Games should just take like one of the rooms and just set up some chairs or whatever, like a little studio, for folks like us that want to have like a sort of in-game presence. But yeah, I thank you so much for just going over and showing him some love, right? Let's see what we can get. Let's see who's leaving comments here. This would be pretty cool. LDZ told us about your stuff. Hi from the NMS-CAST. Head over, take a look at his content, and just say hello. and just pop a comment on there. That would be super awesome. That would make this guy's day. But now on to a little more somber news. If you didn't catch this already, does anybody remember Allison Smith? Does anybody remember who Allison Smith was? Allison Smith was the company that was running the ARG, the Waking Titan ARG, when that was a thing. And if you remember, if you participated, and I know some of our Xbox folks may not know this, but before the game released on the Xbox, there was an ongoing ARG for us sort of existing PC and PS4 players. It was kind of helping to fill the time, right? It was kind of helping to fill the time between updates, right? It was a tough time. So it was the best engagement that Hello Games could do for us while we were waiting. And one of those sort of mini games that we were doing included this animal. And unfortunately, this this cute little thing is named Mrs. Noodles. And in one of the games that we played in the ARG involved feeding Mrs. Noodles. And the unfortunate and the really ironic timing of this is that Mrs. Noodles unfortunately passed away. They kept Mrs. Noodles around to kind of hang out, and I think I don't know if they gave, I can't remember if they gave Mrs. Noodles a home or if they just kind of kept them around the office, which is just super cool, right? That yeah, and died the day before Beyond launch. That's weirdly prophetic, right? But R.I.P. Mrs. Noodles. Just wanted to throw that out there for everybody. I know this is an important part of our history from like more than a year ago, right? As a community, they kept her in the office, as far as I recall. Yeah, rest in peace. Such a cute little thing. Kind of makes me want to buy one now. Honestly, they're kind of a pain in the butt to take care of, especially if you have a kid that doesn't do their chores, like me. I'd eat it, Cloud Runner. God. We're supposed to be sensitive right now, Cloud Runner. God. All right, everybody. And I know this is not No Man's Sky related, but I want to celebrate with Zentry real quick. Because look at that. Matrix 4 has been confirmed. Can you believe this? Can you believe this? I know this is not No Man's Sky related. It's probably a little more Waking Titan related. Way indirectly, but this is my favorite trilogy of all time right here. I'm super nerding out right now. And Keanu's back, Keanu and Carrie-Anne Moss. I don't know if Lawrence Fishburne is back. He needs to be, because that'd be stupid not to. But I wanted to gloat about that for a moment. That's huge. I'm a huge Matrix fan, man. I sort of grew up, right? The first movie was like, 1998 or something like that? Man. Wow. That's super awesome. I can't even describe how I feel about that right now. But yeah. Wow. Excellent news. So, with that, I hope you all enjoyed this sort of news segment. But why don't we get in, and I'm going to start bringing in people. If you are a member of the LZ, obviously you get preference to join the call here. I've got 6 members, including one that joined just tonight, right? I've got Kaj Havas, I hope I said that name correctly, DK Lulz, KJPC Gaming, Laughtercraft, DM21 Gaming, and of course, Mr. Ivy Mike that joins us now. Are you with us, Mr. Ivy Mike?
What's going on, LZ? How are you?
Hey, it works. Okay. Talk one more time for me so I can make sure you're good.
Test 1 2, test 1 2.
One more time.
Test 1 2.
Oh, there it is. Okay.
1 2.
I wasn't looking at the right thing. Oops. It's good now. So if you want to join in the conversation with us, just follow the instructions in the description below, join the LZ Discord, and then jump into the waiting room, and we'll drag you in. It's going to be more of a free-form discussion tonight. Nothing huge, but how are you, Mr. Ivy Mike? How's it going?
Oh, I'm doing great, man. I'm loving every little bit of Beyond, crashes and all.
We're used to it. Somebody put up a meme earlier in the week that I thought was super funny. It was that if you were new to No Man's Sky and dealing with the bugs, like you were freaking out, but then it showed a picture of somebody just sitting back in their chair, arms behind their head, just relaxing, like you were a No Man's Sky alumni, just sort of, you just knew that this was coming. You're just like, oh wait, it's cool. I'm patient. This is par for the course. But I had the chance to stop by a few of your streams this week because unfortunately I have to work a day job. And so typically when I'm sitting around in the office and I'm not doing anything, I'll throw the laptop open and watch some streams. And you were one of those, and I got to see you play today as well. Not today, but I don't know if did you play today, because I didn't watch if you played today, but earlier on.
No, I didn't play today, but Sunday I did, and a couple times last week. Had a good time.
I think I had my PS4 going with No Man's Sky going in it, but it's just dead. So we're just gonna not do that. Yeah, the Nexus continues to freeze up a little bit for me. So whoops. That's okay. I got this going. So I wanted to talk to you about the sort of state of No Man's Sky now. Because you talked about bugs and things like that. I kind of want to get your perspective on just sort of the state of Beyond currently. Did you accept my friend request yet, LZ? I think it's still there. I haven't been playing my PS4 much. It's been more on my PC lately. Yeah, minor bugs. I've got some bugs. What are you running into? Has anything made your experience difficult?
The first day, we all experienced bugs with the Nexus and the anomaly, and that was the largest issues I have were on that first day. But after the first couple of patches, on that first day, honestly, I haven't had very many issues at all. VR has been pretty rock solid. I mean, I'm on PC and I have a pretty beast of a machine, so that definitely helps. I feel like some of the issues are related to lack of VRAM, and if you don't have, 6 gigabytes of RAM on your video card, things like that, that definitely plays into it.
Got it.
But yeah, no, I've been super happy with. I've jumped into the game after every update on Steam. Like I did jump in today just to test stability, so I went up to the anomaly and went to my bases, and I honestly like the bugs. Not I don't like them, but I like finding them. I like being a part of the solution and going to and reporting them to Hello Games and watching them get fixed and finding some of the more obscure, random, weird bugs that maybe they need help finding. Because you got to kind of treat it as a beta test. It is a very small team, and we often help them out and make the game better for all of us in the future, and that's the way I treat it.
Got it. I'm with you too. It is kind of fun discovering some of the more mundane bugs, just some of the more simpler stuff. So yeah, I'm with you there. Like that's and I've seen quite a few of those. Some of the funny bugs. I do enjoy the bug that's in the Nexus of just watching people just sort of effortlessly sort of float in the air. Like they've got just a big dead stick in the middle of the Nexus. I was playing last night trying to capture the footage that you see here in the background, just sort of arbitrarily playing for coolness. And that's it's fun. And I didn't know this until this morning, but apparently there are actually people stuck in those ships that are just sort of floating around in the Nexus, all bugged out.
Yeah, I got stuck floating. It happens if you are in a party and you join the Nexus while in a party and there's more than 16 people in there. Oh. And then there's not a landing pad. There's not a landing pad for you, so that's why you end up being floating. But I was stuck in there in VR, and I had to shut the game down because I was getting sick from floating around in a circle so much. It was something.
Oh no. And also, too, I put this out on Twitter earlier. I've got Darwin's Eyeball that's going to join us here, too. Welcome to the LZ, Darwin. Or it's actually Darwin's Eyeball, so it was kind of my comment was less possessive than it needed to be. You might be muted there. Oh, hang on. Maybe he didn't connect all the way. My Discord's being a meanie.
Hello?
There he is. Hello. What's going on?
I'm pretty good. How are you?
Yeah, it's almost the middle of the week. I can't complain. I work a 5-day work week, so it's just I'm one of those weekend persons where it's just like Saturday. But how's it going? What brings you in?
I just wanted to, maybe talk a little bit about PSVR and its implementation. Because,
I'm glad you bring that up too, because I put this out on Twitter earlier, and I'm glad you're here. Because there's that, and then Ivy Mike here has utilized VR too, and that's a great subject that we can get into. I want to talk about VR, and I'm glad I have both perspectives now. And Mike, you said you had PSVR too, didn't you?
No, I do not have PlayStation. I am only on PC.
Oh, God, I could have swore somebody told me on Twitter. I thought it was you, but maybe it was the other Mike. I think there's another Mike there that I almost get, if it wasn't for the fact that you use your Twitter photo and they don't. But okay, Cloud Runner does. Yep. Cloud Runner's in the house, by the way. What a guy. Get in the chat, you Canadian. No, but I want to talk about VR, and I want to get your both perspectives because I don't own VR. I didn't have much interest in it, and because I worry that my brain is gonna break, that I can't handle it. I get enough headaches and stuff as it is, so I'm kind of a wiener over here, sort of stressing about, and of course my wallet's stressing about it too. But tell me about your PSVR experience, Darwin. I'd love to hear about that.
So quite honestly, like when I first jumped in, my very first impression was not great. Like I started a new game for Beyond. I was on a radioactive planet, and the first thing that you notice is the graphics. And if I'm being completely honest, like I've played a lot of PSVR games. It's unfortunately probably in the bottom 50%, maybe in the bottom 75%, like in terms of graphics.
Now,
or I should say in the bottom 25%.
Can
like,
you separate something for me real quick?
Sure.
Are we talking graphics or resolution or both? Or are they separate?
Sorry. Resolution. So the main issue, which you would notice is like if you look out in the horizon, it's very, very blurry.
Okay.
So that's unfortunate. But I'll say, once I got past that initial shock, it's great. Like I'm really, really loving it. And it's surprising in that like it's made me play the game I think the way that we're supposed to play the game, like, or the original vision of the game. I haven't got around to any of the new basic stuff or any of the new multiplayer stuff because I've been too busy planet hopping and exploring because I've been loving the VR.
Okay, so it's a fun experience. And now you said you were able to find yourself getting past the graphics at one point, or is it still sort of an ever-present bother for you?
No, I don't really notice it. Like, so I as an advocate of PSVR and No Man's Sky, I really hope we get like a pro patch, because the pro patch, like Skyrim, when it came out, the graphics didn't look great, and they released a few free patch a couple months later, and it increased the resolution like a lot. So I'm hoping we see something similar to that in No Man's Sky. And I've also heard, I was talking to someone on a PSVR channel, apparently there's a pro patch coming. Apparently the people who tested it out beforehand and said this game looks great in VR were playing the pro patch, and they think it just didn't get certified in time. Don't quote me on that. That's like me quoting someone else, but it's a fairly reliable source, I think.
And Cloud Runner's got PSVR as well. Cloud Runner, you said that right. He's joining us in the chat now too.
Hello, hello, hello.
You beautiful man, you.
What's going on, you handsome bastard?
Welcome, welcome. So you said you had PSVR, correct? And you said you got Oculus and Vive as well.
Yeah, I do have a PSVR, but right like a week before it was released, I lent my buddy and they still have it, and that's fine because I've got a rig on PC, which I prefer. I knew that it was going to be that it would look prettier anyways on PC, just because, like Darwin was saying, I played Skyrim on PSVR. So my first VR experience was Skyrim on PlayStation VR, and I thought it was beautiful because it was the first thing I ever saw. Once I started to play other games for PSVR that were made for VR, oh my god, Skyrim looks awful. And I can imagine what the difference is between PC and VR. I missed what you guys had said.
I think he's breaking.
Is it a resolution problem, or is it the actual look of the game? Like, it doesn't worsen the look of the game, does it? Or is it just the actual VR looks kind of crappy? Or
just everything's blurry. Like,
yeah,
I don't know what you describe it as, resolution or what, but it's just everything is blurry. Everything's got a fuzzy look to it. Now the interior.
Okay,
I've tweaked every setting you can.
Crystal Red Punks is in the chat too. Crystal Red Punks, did you get a chance to try your PSVR as well? And of course, I've got Stripes as well. He's both of y'all can feel free to jump into the waiting room, and I'll drag y'all in as well. I'd like to hear your perspective. PSVR is low resolution. Crystal Red Punk says he has one too. I know. Stripes by NW, another knight of the LZ, is also here. So I'm hearing a lot of low resolution talk. That's your blurriness, right? But do you think, did they do anything to the assets to make them a little more lower poly? Everything is a little less detailed. I noticed they turned off the sort of textured ground and stuff like that too. I forget the name of that right off the top of my head. What is it? It's
tessellation.
Tessellation. You got it. So definitely the ground textures and stuff look a lot less detailed. So what is that doing for your experience? Because as we saw at the beginning of the show, Mr. Game Mode is having a hell of a time with it, right? He was loving it. He was flipping out like he woke up and saw like Santa left him on Christmas morning. That was quite the experience there. Is it taking you out of it, or do you find that at some point you sort of get used to it and then it's just fine?
I'm completely used to it personally, and well, the thing I don't like about it is I think a lot of people, like, I've read a lot of comment sections and people are like, it's too blurry, I'm not even, and I think that's a mistake, because it is really, really fun once you get into it. And I just don't notice it. I'm too preoccupied. And there is lower textures, but I don't know. For me, it's more than compensated by the extra immersion. Like, I see these trees and I'm like taken aback by how big they are, and just how, like, I'm noticing things I never noticed. So
I've got to add to that the control scheme that they've implemented with the controllers, that is what really makes the immersion so incredible. And going from using a controller, just playing all the time, to then using this interactive, you're interacting with the world and with your multi-tool and with the menus, the way it pops up on your wrist, and it is so well implemented for VR that there's a resolution hit on PC too. It's not as much as on PlayStation, but you lose some of the frame rate and you lose some of the smoothness, but it's so worth it. Once you grab a hold of your stick in the cockpit and you're in it. It's so hard to even in streams when doing it, it's hard to show the 3D nature and how 3D things look from the cockpit view. And that's something that you have to experience. Yeah.
You know what? So on that note, I just wanted one more thing. Very little motion sickness. Surprisingly little motion sickness.
So tell me about that. Is that something that you would normally suffer from? And do you find that is it just something that you mesh well with, or like
personally, I don't experience it that much. To be honest, I don't experience that much, but I can tell, like, you get that's a little bit of that sensation where where it should be flaring up, and I haven't got it at all. And I've talked to a lot of people about this on PSVR forums, and like no one is experiencing more. I don't know
Yeah.
why. I don't know how they did it.
I agree. I was really scared because I get very car sick. If I'm in the backseat of a car and I read a text message on my phone, I'm nauseous for some reason. Especially if I read in a car. If I'm not driving, I'm probably car sick. So I never really played VR before No Man's Sky. But yeah, I didn't experience any type of wooziness except for that time when I was stuck in the ship flipping around in a circle. But that was actually getting dizzy from flipping in a circle, just like you would in the real world, you know.
Mm-hmm. I was a little worried about that, and that's a common thing that I keep seeing on Twitter and Reddit too. Is that where's the pro patch? I mean, No Man's Sky is optimized for pro. That happened back in what, Pathfinder? So pretty early on, like in the first year, it was ready for, and it was enhanced for PS4 Pro. So I'm almost wondering if, and Crystal Red Punk said it earlier in the chat, and I forgot to call it out, that a lot of journalists are saying that it wasn't that blurry before release. And I'm wondering if they sort of backed down on things for whatever reason, for performance and whatnot, right? Maybe their last minute testings were just like, I'm not liking this frame rate, or I'm not liking this, or I'm not liking that. And they've done that before. I remember with Next, with the new cloud tech particularly, the clouds were looking beautiful. And like a week later, they were like, yeah, we're going to back down the resolution on the clouds a little bit. And that's where the sort of meme of crying about cloud resolution in Sean's tweets sort of came from.
Annihilator.
Yeah, but the clouds look much better now. I wonder. I hope he's blocked me because I always dunked on him every time he tweeted. So I don't know how he feels about the new clouds. Apparently, he's carrying the meme on like a trooper, and great job. They probably got some optimization to do, and particularly because I play on Pro as well. I have a Pro. I play on PC now, and the game is running much better for me on PC. And I don't even have an AMD card. I'm NVIDIA on this one. So now that we've heard about the PSVR experience, we're hearing the obvious that there's some resolutions, possibly optimization. How's the frame rate for you?
Perfectly fine.
Perfectly fine. So is it
the only time I've noticed the drop was going into the Nexus as you entered the Nexus, and that's literally the only time.
Yeah, same.
I think that's everybody. I tried to run the Nexus on PS4 as just sort of a backdrop to the stream here, and it's frozen up 3 times. So it's a good thing I had my footage to just kind of fall back on. Thankfully for that. What's up, Arsenal? I see you there. So now that we've heard about the PSVR impressions, Mike, tell us about your experiences on PC VR.
So obviously driving the Exocraft was probably one of the most fun experiences I've ever had in a game in a long time. You know, we went to a low gravity planet and drove around, in all the different Exocraft to test them out, and jumping out of it when you're flying through the air and get patching around, it's unreal on PC.
And I think you made about 60 people jealous who are watching. Yeah, exactly. There's the chat right there. No first-person exos and non-VR yet.
I really think it's coming. I think this is something they didn't have ready for release.
Yeah,
for the control scheme or something. Yeah,
they'll probably add it. You're using the motion controls and everything too with it?
Oh yeah. You grab onto the steering wheel and you're steering, and and the coolest thing, the mining laser on the Exocraft, wherever you look is where the laser points, or the grenades point from the Exocraft. So you should be looking all around and shooting your friend or whatever you want to mine while driving without taking your hands off the steering wheel. It's
nice.
pretty intense.
Nice. And we got Stripes by MW in the chat too. Welcome. Good to see you.
Hey LZ, how's it going?
I'm doing great. It's a great night. It's hot as hell outside. I know that. Even just the walk from the front door at work to the parking lot I think I sweated more in that 5-minute period than just the entirety of a session of mowing the lawn. Like it was it's just really, it's really sticky outside.
Yeah, I grew up in the Midwest, live in Seattle now, and that's one of the things I don't miss is the kind of hot, humid summers.
I'm moving to Seattle, damn it. That sounds like fun. And I'm sick of sticking to myself. I'm just tired of it. Like, this humidity is killing me.
Yeah, well, I think we haven't had one day in the 90s yet this month.
Oh.
And I think 2 or 3 days ago, we had a high of like 68. So it's nice and cool. Now, that's a kind of unseasonably cool. Usually we're kind of high 70s, low 80s this time of year, but, I'll take it.
And we got Sword in the chat. Peaceful Gamer. Pwnstream Arg is in the chat as well. Plo is there. Kenjack Ben is there. Sorry, I can't read good. Carlos is here. John is here. Crystal Red Punks. My brother from another mother. Always good to see you all. So, Stripes, tell us about, you were mentioning earlier, right, that you were utilizing VR as well.
Yep.
So what was your feelings on that? Let us know how you're doing so far on that one.
Well, I absolutely love it. I mean, it's so immersive. You really feel like, you're in the universe. From the first time that you land on a planet, just encountering the flora and fauna that just tower over you. I landed on a space, not a space station, but like just one of a trading post, I think. And it was, one of those like T-Rex rodent looking creatures that, kind of look goofy, like in the 2D part of the game. But like, I was scared to jump down and just see what it was all about. Like it was pretty menacing looking. And I did. And, it turns out that it was, it was hostile. So then I had to, tuck my tail and run away and try to jetpack up to the platform. But it was a really cool experience, and just kind of, watching the ships fly in, and those first moments, like I just want to see all those planets that I've seen in 2D, like all over again. It's just kind of takes me back to 2016, when I just couldn't get enough of the experience. I had an epic Sentinels. Scared for my life as I'm backing up,
I'm sorry, you broke up during. You had an epic, and then I lost you.
Oh, okay, my bad.
Probably
I had
my
an epic
bad,
fight.
actually.
I just was saying I had an epic fight with some triggered Sentinels that, like, it just felt so real. It's hard to really put into words, like some of these experiences and how they translate.
So, I want to. How is your situational awareness in these in VR? Like, I know the 2D folks have these sort of arrows or whatnot that are sort of ever present on the screen to sort of give you an idea. But how does that manage in the more 3D aspect of VR? Does that translate different? Is it different at all, or do you feel like you're lost sometimes when there's events happen, like a sentinel is investigating you or something to that effect?
You know it.
I find it easy.
Yeah, me too. You know when stuff's going down. Like it's like you're there, dude. Like
it's like you're there. It's funny. I think we've made it this entire time, and nobody said that yet. That's great.
It's crazy, man. It is. It's like you're there. You don't even need the HUD or anything like that. You just see things and go for it. And really, I don't even know what's in this update yet, because all I've done is fly my ship. I go back to what Ivy Mike was saying and just ripping around in the roamer. Like, that has been one of my favorite things to do. And I don't even know what's new in this update, because that's all I've been doing for the last few days, just flying and laughing and crying and
flying and laughing and crying.
And,
it's one of those moments,
just
right?
like, what?
It's so
everything
good.
okay? And I'm like, I've been playing NMS VR for 8 hours.
Yeah. Same here. And like the first time, like, you pull out your multi-tool and look at it, I mean, it's kind of a religious experience.
Wow.
Oh yeah, if you have an S class or an experimental, and it's this huge thing in your hand that's just like, wow, and it's there. It's like right in front of your face.
I pretend that I'm holding it with 2 hands, even though you one-hand it in VR. I still take my left hand and kind of underneath there, and then when I run, I pretend like I swing my arms when I'm running.
I'm glad somebody does, because if I'm in the Nexus, you can tell who's VR and who isn't.
Yeah.
Because
Little
everybody's
T-Rexes running around.
They're running like they're carrying a football. Like they got their hands sort of into their chest, and they're just sort of running with their hands right there, like they're being chased. So I enjoy that too. And I do enjoy when somebody comes up to me and just starts waving. That I get a kick out of that. That's
You just stare him down.
I just stare them down because like it takes me too long to push 3 buttons to wave back, right? And they're just they're effortlessly going wave back, you jerk, and I'm like, what button is it? But yeah, the quick menu for those I always think that Hello Games should go to more of a radial menu system. Just because I think things would be a little bit quicker, sort of holding a button and using the sticks to select things. That would be much more user friendly. But I think that at the same time, I like watching this system come together. And I have no doubt in my mind that they're working on new ways to make this look better, perform better.
Of course.
I mean, the first entire week, I don't think they left that place. They're putting up.
Yeah,
it was like an update every few hours. It felt like.
I think it's focusing on fixing, the crashing. At the end of the day, they want the crashing and the multiplayer to work, and then they'll get into fixing, the keyboard mapping and the things that are quality of life. I know it's really tough to play for someone that used different keys for a long time, but at the end of the day, it's not just other people that can't even play. So I think those are the things that we're working on now, and once that's rock solid, we'll start getting all those little things that they always add in these updates. Like after Nets launched, we got actual features added afterwards that were maybe in the trailer that didn't make it in, and things like that.
They did. Like they're not just putting up fixes with these, which is sort of it impresses me every time, because like, hey, that wasn't part of the original update, but thanks for improving that anyway. Like that was super nice of you. But all this VR talk really has me really wanting to invest one. Not a PSVR, but I'm thinking like at some point VR for PC. I just don't think that my rig is strong enough for it. I've got an old i5 3570K. It's got a 1070 in it, which is probably okay, I think.
Yeah, you're fine.
I'm probably good on the GPU type of thing, but like everything else is just kind of it's starting to show its age a little bit. So it's not helping my idea to invest when I know my PC probably won't effectively run it. And I got a few folks that are DMing me on Twitter and places saying that their VR is not running that great at all, that theirs is bugged on PC, and they've got like 20 somethings, like they're perfectly capable of running. And apparently,
what kind of headsets are they? Sorry,
I forget. I think what did he say he was running? I think I have him right here. He was. I won't call out his name, Flandy. You jerk. That's just how I talk to him. He talks to me the same way. Let's see. What do you have here? Looks good on res mode, but let's see. He constantly hits me up on Twitter or something, or Steam too, and just be like, "Hey, when's that new No Man's Sky update coming?" And he's like had it since launch, and he's always just like, "Man, I can't wait to try the new update." And then hours later, "This thing sucks." And I'm like, man, I hate you. Let's see, where are you? He told me what he was running, but
I know like the Windows mixed reality headsets had a lot of issues. They still might. I don't know if they've been patched. But from what I've seen, like I have an Oculus Rift S, like that, the Index, the regular Rift, the Vive, like those are okay for the most part, outside of, I think, launch day. But again, it comes down to like, the rig as well.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's VR on PC. If you really want to turn up the graphic settings and get all the nice looking stuff, you gotta have a pretty beefy machine. But if I'd imagine you're gonna want something with 8 gigs of video RAM if you want to turn up the graphics to a higher level, and have one of those higher end cards. And if you're not, you're gonna have to lower the textures down quite a bit.
Cloud Runner donated to the LZ, saying VR fund.
I'm just trying to get the train rolling.
Get it started. Yeah,
get
it started.
I might have to.
Get
I
you
might
milk
have
and
to.
stuff.
I might have to change the amount on that. Then 150 might be a little shallow.
It's a good start.
You know what? You can get an original Oculus pretty cheap. I mean, I have the original Oculus, and I really don't see a need to upgrade. I mean, yes, the Rift S is nicer, but if you can get an original Oculus for $250, $300, and it's the controllers are great. It's
difference?
not as high resolution.
Yeah. Oh, it's resolution. You mean is sort of what the difference is between headsets?
Yeah. Well, the Rift S also takes away any need for sensors, but I like having the sensors. That way, I don't have to worry about which way my face is facing to make sure my controllers are in view and things like that.
So sensors being something like what you put up on the wall or something to sort of give like a room awareness type of thing.
Correct. Yep. Yeah. So the sensors on the original Rift were separate that plugged into USB, and the sensor on the Rift S is built into the headset, and you don't need external sensors.
Mm-mm. Oh, gotcha. I wonder, have they done wireless anything yet?
Actually, Stripes, you were looking into the wireless one, weren't you?
Well, no, I was looking just at the kind of Rift S with the inside-out tracking, just because of my setup. I have an old house, and there's very minimal outlets, so like plugging in base stations on the wall just really wasn't an option. So that was kind of my primary reason. And as far as I know, the Quest, which is wireless, it can't handle No Man's Sky. I don't think it's, at least yet anyway.
Yeah, the Quest is more like a phone inside of the set, so it doesn't really play it from PC, even though you load the games from there, but it's only certain games.
Cloud Runner, I think you pissed off Irizumi on Twitter. You got problems over there, man. You disinvited her from the meetup whenever that happens. So
What happened now?
I don't know.
No, I didn't.
He can't remember. Also, Stutterboy has joined us in the chat, everybody. He was the channel that we did the shout out for earlier, and we sort of rated his video and his comments. He's here thanking everybody. So again, don't forget, go check out Stutterboy. Check out his content. I really like his idea of interviewing people in the Nexus. That's almost like some of those like kind of like what Letterman did back in the day, just sort of randomly interviewing people on the ship or on the streets. Like that's super cool. Like and go with
it's
that.
like MTV style, man. That's good.
So what do you think? What do you think of the new Poo mechanics? Or just like random funny questions like that, which would be really fun.
nice multi-tool. Where'd you get that from?
That's a nice multi-tool. Hey, do you have VR? Wave to me. Like it's just like weird stuff. I don't think you can proximity chat with those folks, can you?
I don't know. I haven't really tried it yet.
That should be. I haven't heard anybody talking in the Nexus. I've been in the Nexus so few times, but yeah, because mostly just been avoiding it for crashes because it does crash quite a bit. I'm hoping I'm hoping they get that straightened out because that's really the only problem I'm having. Only other bugs I've ran into currently, generation problems. Like grass is like patchy in areas, like it won't show grass in certain areas unless you stand there for like 10 minutes and then finally it's just like, oh, there it is, right? Oh, it popped in. Hey, there's the grass.
Sounds like my backyard.
Yeah, it's sort of like my backyard right now in these high temperatures. Absolutely. Like there's like
cut the grass. Oh shit! Have you seen it done again?
Like the very center of my backyard is just brown because of the direct heat and the 110-degree temperatures with no rain and no water, and it's just like the Wild West out there. So yeah, we're on the edge of the frontier or something, I guess. But
that's a good thing, man. You cut it nice and short and just let it burn, and then you'll have to cut it like maybe 2 more times this summer, and you're done.
Yeah, and then you overseed it in the April or something. I don't know.
It looks like crap, but you don't have to do anything.
Yeah, I got a fence back there, though. I don't give a shit what my neighbors say.
Yeah, there you go. You're good to go.
To hell with
Fence,
you,
umbrella.
neighbors. So the VR
Enjoy
discussion
cutting
was
your
super
grass.
good. I want to jump to something that sort of happened earlier in the day. On Twitter and in my community section here on the channel, I posted a poll that I kind of wanted everybody, as many people that I could, to get to vote on these. This is actually a lot more votes than I thought. And simply, I asked the question, and I know it's a little bit premature, but I want to get a temperature check from a lot of folks concerning No Man's Sky Beyond. And the question was simply, are you satisfied with No Man's Sky Beyond? And then, of course, comment below on sort of what your actual feelings are. And so, of course, the answers were absolutely, meh, I hate it, or I need more time. An overwhelming majority of everybody picked that they were absolutely satisfied with it. 14% of people, this is Twitter, by the way, this is not the YouTube poll. We'll take a look at that after this one.
But it's your Twitter.
This
so
is
it's
my Twitter poll, that's right. Which
world.
I should probably say that I do have a lot of No Man's Sky followers, so there's probably some level of bias / margin of error.
Not being so coy, all right?
Yeah, it's they're
fanboys.
Yeah, exactly. There might be a little favoritism here. I'm just saying.
So many bugs. It's the greatest thing ever.
So maybe if you take like, I don't know, 20% off of the 59% that say they are absolutely satisfied with it, and sort of divvy it out to the rest of them, I feel like the things would be a little more fair. Like, what's the margin of error, LZ? 20% or so. That's a big ass margin. I got a lot of folks. There was one in my mentions today, sort of streaming off of this tweet, that is just absolutely unsatisfied. Majorly because of the building mechanics. Feels like they either cut back on. I haven't done a whole lot of building since Beyond launched, but apparently they did some things to the building. Apparently, mega building is not a thing. Glitch building is not a thing now. Is that true, or what happened with that?
I don't know.
Because I know
Yeah,
Zane's a glitch builder, isn't he?
I thought I saw JC Hysteria say that it was still in there, but I could be wrong. And I haven't done any building myself for the most part because I've been in VR, so I can't really say.
All they do is shoot asteroids.
I had a really good base that I had built pre update, and then when I went to that base afterwards, when there were some glitches on it, so I started deleting, and when I tried to add a piece back, it said I was over the limit. So it seems they actually did lower the limit of the number of pieces you could build, and depending on the pieces, but they did increase the radius that you can build in, so you can build much farther out from the circle of your base. But the actual limit of the number of pieces, they were either at the same or slightly lower.
Wasn't the original limit like 25,000? And
it's 20,000 units, and a square room uses up like X number of units, like a couple hundred units.
Really?
So, yep.
How do they measure that? That's kind of confusing to me.
Yeah, small assets like the new assets they added, the wood walls and that use a lot less than the old assets did.
Oh, got it. So one wall isn't. It isn't just one unit. I get what you're saying. I'm like, here's one piece. You can't have more than 20,000 pieces. Wires count as pieces towards the base count too, unfortunately. 20,000 across all bases.
What the hell's going on with those wires?
I've seen some freakouts over the wiring and the electricity too. I'm having fun with it so far. I'm sort of trying to look ahead and trying to guess the sort of practicality that's coming along. And I don't know. I think people are still processing it yet. I think it's something that probably needs a little bit more time to cook before people start doing really awesome things with it. And like, oh, suddenly I get it. That's a really cool thing that they did. But some of the reactions towards electricity and things like that have been sort of mixed. What's our feeling on the new electric system? in the building aspect. What do we think about that?
Well, I do think it's cool, but it reminds me of like Ark and all these other survival games, and that's what I wanted No Man's Sky to go. More of a survival game where you have to, just for the fun of it, but build it out of necessity and have power to run things and stuff like that. The problem with me is that I'm just such a slob, and I've got like wires all over the place. It looks like my basement, and it's just terrible, and I don't know what the hell I'm doing.
Peaceful Gamer just donated $30 to the VR fund. Oh God, y'all are killing me now.
Oh, there we go. There we go.
There it is.
There we go.
Oh
It's
no, here it goes.
be waving and milking with us very soon, brother.
Here's the thing. Like, if y'all are doing all of that, I'm not gonna have any choice. It's just that's gonna be how it's go down. I mean, I can't not do it at that point, right? If everybody's just like, here, buy VR, and I'm like, okay, I guess.
I'll just buy some drugs instead.
Well, I wish that were a thing in a red state in America. It's just like, yeah, I think I'll just use that and go buy some weed or something. I don't think that happens around here though. Maybe secretly. Thanks, Peaceful Gamer. Y'all are the best.
Jeez, man.
And I tell you what, like, that was the thing. I was really seriously considering doing like a crowdfunding for a new PC. Maybe like $1,100 or so. Maybe keep my 1070 for a little bit, because this budget for me here when we moved is just super crunched. So I'm trying to find a way to like sort of position it where I don't sound like a douchebag begging for money and things like that. But at some point, this poor PC is going to croak. I've been using this i5, I think, gosh, like 6 years now, like 5 or 6 years now. I've had this thing, and it's been running strong. But I finally decided to overclock it after researching on how the heck to do it. But
listen, dude, you're a content creator. You're a great YouTuber. There is no shame in having a crowdfunding or a donation goal set up to make it better. Because people that listen to you, and you get a lot of people, you get a lot of great people. Look at everybody in this chat. They would be more than happy.
Yeah.
Help it improve, because it makes your show better. It makes their experience better. There's no shame in that, dude. If you're constantly like saying, "Hey, here's my PayPal link, give me $5," something like that, then
I might have to do it.
Sounds like panhandling.
I might have to do it.
Yeah, man.
I don't know.
No shame in that.
I have been. And Skylifine says get a Ryzen, and I've been an Intel guy for my last two builds. I haven't really had any problems, but looking at benchmarks and Skylifine, you're not the only one that said that. Like a lot of people are saying, for you who likes to edit videos and stream and do the stuff that you do, like a Ryzen would be a better idea. So yeah, I might have to, and it's probably cheaper, and I do love to render videos. Like, I'm less of a streamer and more of a creator / editor / renderer, whatever. There's a word for it, but I mean, Mike with the donation. God, y'all are, man, I'm gonna have to do this at some point. Y'all are warming me up. The LZ's hot tonight, y'all.
No, there's no shame in it. This is what you do.
I guess I'm gonna have to change the goal at some point and just keep that stuff up there until it happens, right? Peaceful Gamer says my T-shirt sales paid for a mic headset. Yeah, you had some pretty good. Oh, speaking of T-shirts, I forgot to say this. Speaking of my theme lately, my big thing of supporting your creators. Check out this shirt. I don't know if he's in the chat, but look at it. I'm a traveler. Mr. Kyle Culver's T-shirt.
Oh, that's a nice shirt. That's a nice shirt.
I love this shirt. I also picked up a shirt from Cobra. It turns out he has one in red, and red is my favorite color, so I could not resist. And I know they bought shirts from me. God, it seems like forever ago, and I've been just super mega broke to do it. And then just this 2 weeks ago, I'm like, screw it. I'm buying shirts. But yeah, and I feel like the traveler shirt is something I can walk around in public and people won't be like, yeah, that's a YouTuber. Who buys YouTube merch? Whereas Cobra TV, probably they'd be like, I think a lot of folks would be like, hey, I know who Cobra TV is. Legacy Zero shirt. I Stripes, you could probably walk around the office with your Why You're Still Here shirt.
I've got funny stories with that.
Get punched in the face.
I need to hear that.
I wear it like honestly, it's one of my go-to gym shirts, and I get people that'll just walk past and they'll just see your face, and then they just smile, and if I forget that I'm wearing it, I'm like, what's going on here? I'm like, oh yeah, right.
You got to pop them a link and be like, hey, it's like $25. You don't know who it's from, but you don't need that.
Yeah.
You could buy it without context.
Why are you still here? Go get one.
What? And you know what's weird? I don't know why I made that shirt, because that was just sort of an in joke from a video that got like 4,000 views years ago. I think this was after Atlas Rises launched. And I sort of just snarkingly and condescendingly just asked why people are still with this game. Like, why are you still here? Why are you...
Oh, dude.
It was the much needed video at the time. Yeah, it was good.
That was the first LZ video I've ever watched.
That was the first one? Oh,
yeah, I'm pretty sure that was like the first one that I can remember anyways, where I thought, oh my God, this is gold.
Yeah,
because it was mainly...
I was maybe a little snarky.
I loved it.
Yeah, it was needed. I think it came out. I think it was like during, like the lead up to Waking Titan or to Atlas Rises. I could be wrong, but I think it was around that. And people were starting to come out of the woodwork because it was just a year after launch, and they were still just bashing the game. While we're kind of getting ready for that next step, and it felt needed at the time for sure.
Big time, yeah.
Why is that face?
Yeah, face is great. I had to buy one.
So if you have people that like to bug you at work, that's a shirt. It's a coffee mug for it too, if that helps a little bit better too. Yeah, it's an emoji as well. I forgot that's we used that on the channel in the chat as well. It was the only thing I could think of at the time. So yeah, and it's maybe a little hard to see too unless your contrast is, but whatever, it's fun. Hey, Natalie's here. Everybody say hi to Natalie. It's always great to have Natalie around.
I know.
Apparently, unbeknownst to me, people are starting a VR fund to which they are contributing to right now. That came out of nowhere, so that's awesome. We were talking about, and so if you're just joining us, Natalie just joined us as well. We were talking about VR. We were talking about the sort of state around No Man's Sky. We were talking about Beyond and sort of how people thought about it, to which we had some pretty interesting results so far, right? People are overwhelmingly happy. And then the second biggest option was, I need more time. Who can tell me sort of what's behind that? What do we think is behind the I need more time?
It's definitely me.
That's definitely you. I think I would vote need more time as well.
I don't mean that in a bad way either. I'm not saying like, it's just I need more time because I'm enjoying right now doing stupid stuff that I don't even know what's in the update. Like I'm driving my roamer around, I'm shooting at rocks, I'm just like giggling, and I don't even know. I haven't done anything. I haven't milked anything. I just want to milk something really bad. Like I've been looking at people like Grinderdyne is one that I follow on Twitter. I'm sure you guys know him as well.
Yeah.
In the community. I mean, he's got some great shots of him riding creatures, and I haven't even done that either. Like I haven't done any of the new stuff other than VR and Visit the Nexus, and I've been playing the crap out of the game, but time to decide.
I'm in the same, pretty much the same boat. I've been doing. I kind of forced myself out of VR last night and played 3 hours, and I still ended up just exploring, and I noticed some things, some subtler things, if you will, that kind of popped out. That wasn't the first time I loaded up. Like I was on my home planet, and it didn't look like anything had changed. And then when I got out and started exploring, I noticed, some things about the clouds, the skies, the textures, some small things in the flora and fauna. But I've done nothing except explore and do VR. I haven't done any of the new stuff either. No multiplayer. So, but the VR has definitely sold me. So I voted absolutely on it just because of that.
The clouds.
Yeah, I would vote.
The clouds caught me off guard. Like they look good now, even on PS4.
Yeah, there was a lot of effort into those, and I think they're a little more sparse, not much, but like
Yeah.
I see some openings, so you see more of like the nighttime skies, and it's just like these really crystal clear images that you saw a lot in Atlas Rises, and they kind of went away with Next, and it feels like that part's kind of, it's a happy medium.
And that's fine, I think. Like, please, Hello Games, don't touch those. Leave those. Those are just fine.
Screw Clouds guy.
Yeah. Yeah, it's my secret Twitter account.
I can't believe he can't be happy with this now. I mean, it was a really nice improvement.
I think he's just carrying the meme on now. I don't think he's serious.
He's looking for follows and likes.
I'd like his tweets if he didn't have me blocked. I would. I'd just be like, look, man, keep it going. You must be consistent.
He blocked you?
Oh yeah, he blocked me. I think probably just weeks after Next launch, after they sort of dialed back the resolution, because everybody was just like, "Yo, stop! Why do you keep doing this? Right? To let them do their thing." And I could agree. I mean, I think I was more disappointed with the launch of Next than I was for Beyond, because almost everything in Beyond Next was broken for me. Like in some things that they even fixed from Atlas Rises, broke again. Like not being able to see all your ships in the freighters, or in your freighter.
Oh, right.
That was a big one for me. Like thankfully, you could actually call in your other ships, like on planet surfaces now at that point, which was really useful. But yeah, I thought that was interesting. Like, they finally got it fixed. I was like, yay, I've got all my ships in the parking lot. And suddenly, out of nowhere, like, here comes Next, and I can't see my ships again. And I'm like, how did you break this again?
Let's go backwards.
I was pretty devastated by the launch, but shockingly, they came back and they fixed things. Like, they made it right. It took them about, how long did it take them to get Next sort of in the right place?
Probably about a month. Probably about a full month before everything was ironed out.
It felt like a month. A month felt about
I feel like, I think that, if you think of it that way, Next was a month-long launch, and Beyond is the same thing. We haven't gotten all of Beyond yet,
Mm-hmm.
It's an experience. It's a month-long experience. You guys are all part of right now.
Oh, 100%. When they give us an update, it's never earlier. If you're new to No Man's Sky, you're like, oh, this is bull crap, man. This doesn't work, and but 2 months, even 3 months. I mean, 3 months is a very long time. 3 months from now, hardly any issues, I think, and there's going to be more things added. It's almost like they add things as, I don't know, like apologies or something. Like, hey, here's some bug fixes, and now animals have babies.
Right.
Like,
Weird. Yeah.
Hey, cool.
Listen,
that is pretty cool.
I
how they
really
do
want
that.
to be able to ride animals in VR. If there's one disappointment I have so far, it's that I can't ride animals in VR.
Oh wait, you can't?
You just ruined my day.
I'm hoping they'll be patched. I have like a pretty good feeling it'll be patched in later. But like, other than that, I would say absolutely, I'm loving Beyond.
Oh no.
we get cockpit views. You guys on PS4 get riding animals.
Wait, have you milked anything, Darwin? In
I love that that's a question we can ask. Like, what?
Yeah.
Me too, right? I'm like, did you milk anything?
That's so funny. Like that's good stuff.
Actually, there's a question for everybody. Has anyone milked anything yet? Can you do that?
No idea.
You know what? The
haven't tried.
Milking, I think, is it's when you feed a creature the thing that they like, you can collect a certain item from them by clicking on them. It's nothing super special, and certain animals give you milk. So there's no hand emotion, there's no actual milking involved, unfortunately.
Oh, really? They're like the milkman. They give you a bottle of milk then.
It's like instead of
here in Canada, we get bags.
They give you something.
That's messed, man. That is messed. Because like you got those squeeze triggers, and like every time I see my hands squeezing, all I keep picturing is udders in those hands.
Why aren't you in every show?
I just want it to happen so bad.
Jesus, have you milked something yet?
So my answer is I need more time.
Yeah, wow, that was quite the conversation to sort of just hit the overall, like, crux of the conversation is I need more time.
I like to bring it back to the original question.
Do you see how that? Yeah, like, do you see how that came together? That was beautiful. How that worked. That worked so well. So we were talking about the survey and things that we had there. We were talking about VR, which was a nice conversation. Y'all definitely have piqued my interest for a VR / hardware fund. But that would definitely help get things started. Because I'm definitely interested. Probably not on PSVR, though. Because I know not only does it look kind of messy to me, but which they might even fix. I've got Pro, and I love my Pro. My Pro has done so many cool things. I think if it was one more thing that I wish they could add to the Pro mode, it would be a toggle within the menu to VR automatically switch between what do you call it? Like a pro mode and a non-pro mode. Some other games have it. I know Horizon Zero Dawn had it. God of War had it, I believe. We got another donation from Stripes. Stripes is just passing out. Thank you so much. Man,
got to get on that VR train.
The VR train is happening apparently.
Hell in there, man. We're gonna make it happen before the show's over. You're gonna have a VR.
Yeah, the boost mode. Yeah, Skyline Fine noted it as the boost mode. That's correct.
What's
yeah,
that game?
that'd be. Hey, Snow Obsidian's in the chat now too. We brought him in.
Oh.
How's it going? Let me make sure I can adjust your volume here. You're already adjusted as high as you can go, so you might have to speak it up a little bit. From the diaphragm, my friend. From the diaphragm.
Push it.
Push it. That's right. From the deep. The surveys are looking good. Like I think people are overwhelmingly positive about this. So I want to know from y'all while I've got you on the call. Knowing what we have now, sort of what's come with like the Nexus and things like that, how would you improve what we have? And I know it's kind of a dick move to sort of ask about what the future is, knowing that we've already just got beyond and things like that. But
I do this every time.
But for me, like, I haven't got that much experience with the Nexus yet, but what I would say is, like, I think we just need more time for the community to, like, understand how to use it. Because, like, I'm envisioning, and I don't know if this is, like, just fantasy or what, but I'm envisioning, like, people making these, like, crazy specific bases for crazy, like, there'll be PvP bases, there'll be, like, role-playing bases if that's your thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I think people will get to that point. The community will get to that point. But I don't know if that will happen or not. So, like, I don't know if they necessarily have to do anything to change it, or if we just need more time to, like, learn what we're doing.
I think so. So in my interactions that I had so far, Nexus particularly, not even just generally, but the Nexus, I've been kind of thirsting for the idea of multiplayer. Really any kind of multiplayer, really. But sort of what they're doing right now. Cloud Smoker gave a donation as well.
VR
Thank you so much.
Go.
The hardware fund is going. The VR fund is increasing. Oh my heavens. This might actually happen. That's incredible. So yeah, I'm gonna have to hoard that money for a little bit and do some shopping, I guess. Look at that. Y'all are lovely.
Wasted on drugs.
No, oh God. I'm waiting to legalize it first.
Sorry, I shouldn't say don't waste it on drugs. That's just a stupid sentence. I meant don't spend it on drugs.
Don't spend.
No such thing as wasting.
A Canadian would say that to an American.
Just let you know the lingo down here. There's no such thing as waste.
There's no such thing as wasting it. I know a Peaceful Gamer would probably agree with you. But,
we're gonna get you a VR rig, and then we're gonna have the NMS meetup in your basement, if that's cool with you in the mess.
I guess so. We're just gonna have to have a big old sleepover. I hope you like Popeye's chicken and Five Guys, because you know we got some in the area as well. So My
There's gonna
wife,
be
my,
more than-
my wife, my wife, and both my wife and my job might have to give me a hall pass on smoking weed.
NMS meetup. This is LZ.
Me?
Do it. Just join
No.
in.
Oh man,
Join in.
I
can eat
just
it- you
I
eat it
don't
too, it's
I don't want my wife to murder anybody in their sleep because they brought drugs or something. That'd be something. Because she
Don't
would.
worry. I've got it all planned out, man. We give her a cookie first. We let that set in. Pass out on the couch, and then open the door, let everyone else in. We party for a bit. She'll be out for like 6 hours. Trust me.
She just made cookies and brought them down here, and I'm thinking like we could just do a little sprinkle, you know, just a little shake, little, you know.
Yeah, there's no such thing as waste.
That's right. Get her a little
think
body
that's what-
buzz, you know.
Katsumi's yelling at me before. Now I remember.
Yeah. No, yeah, I don't think she would. She would. She's not like that one lady from, what was it, Wife Swap or something like that. It was just like she like freaked out and she was just like, "Get out of my house" or something like that. I forget what it was, but
For smoking pot?
no, I think it was like straight up religious, like the devil hates you or the devil loves you, blah blah. And I was like, oh God, what is this? And
Oh
why is
yeah,
it-
they call it the devil's lettuce, right?
Yeah.
Why do you call it the devil's lettuce? That's such a weird. Like I've only heard that terminology like this year. It was the first time I've heard it.
Durgan
Lettuce,
donated
something.
to the LZ as well. Thank you all so much for helping support. This is fantastic.
Nice.
Davian too.
So I guess we're just
What's
we're
going
gonna
on?
name it the VR or whatever fund for, you know, because I'd have to look into VR to make sure my thing could even support it at this point.
VR whatever fund is a great name. Like you
but
should actually put VR whatever fund.
The VR or whatever fund or the hardware fund or whatever that, because I don't know if my i5 can run it, but we'll see. But so I'll have to ask y'all if you're cool if I don't have an updated enough rig to do it, that, you know, we put it there instead. But you know, that's if y'all are donating specifically for VR, well then I'd have to obviously get your go ahead on that. You know, it seems very
Well, if you need it before you can get VR, then it's kind of the first step in the process.
makes sense, right?
You do whatever you want with that money.
I
That's
know
fine.
my PC part liquor, PC part liquor. That's funny. Oh man, that's quite that's quite
That's
the story.
me.
The Freudian. Hello. No, I think yeah, we'll definitely be looking at it. Oculus Rift from eBay. Oh, you posted in the Discord. 180 used. Oh man, I'm gonna have to
Ooh.
look into that.
Oh,
I know,
yeah.
I know somebody's
Price.
sweaty mug has been in it. That's a little unattractive. Better than that.
It's worth it.
You might be
man,
able to
180
switch
bucks.
out the cushioning. I don't know specifically, but I know some headsets allow that, so that might be an option too, if you're buying a used one.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Ivy fell out of the chat. Let me bring it back in. Ta-da!
What?
The Ivy has came back to us.
ALZ.
Yes, sir.
Oh, I forgot Snow was here.
I'm sorry. You kind of caught up on me there.
Sorry. That's so cool, Mike. Got a question for you guys and all that.
Go for it.
I'm currently based in northeastern United States. What are
Okay.
the odds of you guys coming out to, let's say, Harrisburg, Pennsylvania?
Okay. Pennsylvania's a good spot.
For me.
Mm-hmm.
Huh?
And we were talking about earlier about a potential meetup, right? Or meetups, really. And it for one, your general neck of the woods would probably be the best spot, or at least the hottest spot. Because I think like the best thing that we can do if we want to have an actual U.S. meetup is it would have to be more than one, and it would have to be like a regional type thing, right? So for you, like I think Cobra is in that general territory. Dan Before Time.
He's in Ohio, so yeah.
Ivy Mike is in that general area. Sword is in that general area. Just Jared, like the creators, right? There's a lot of creators, so I know if there's that many creators, I could see. I don't want to be jealous of the UK, damn it.
I am.
I'm with you
Like
there.
many
I'm
things.
very jealous.
for many reasons.
For
Yeah,
many
I could
reasons.
go
Well,
to
yeah, for
Harrisburg,
many reasons,
UK,
but them punking
thing.
us with a meetup is definitely.
And
Yeah.
just gloating about it all over Twitter too. They're like, "Look at this in front of the billboard."
They
and
are. Shut up, L,
Shit. You guys helped
please.
pay for it.
And this isn't even their first one. This is the second one, so we've had plenty
know.
of time. We just haven't got our shit together.
Did they have another one? They had another one, didn't they?
They had one. They had one last year.
They did. That's right. That's twice. We've got to do something here.
In North America, is that what's going on?
Yeah, North America. Let's see if we can get Peaceful Gamer and Clout Runner a visa for a little bit.
We just say, well, I could drive to Pennsylvania in 7 hours.
Yeah. Oh, there you go. Just don't bring your children.
Go. I don't have any.
Literally a 2-hour drive.
And then
Literally
you can just come here temporarily,
drive
can't you? From
from-
I don't know how it works coming into America from Canada. I don't think.
Yeah, they love it.
Yeah, I don't think
Party,
they.
like, all right, come on.
They don't really have an anti-Canadian thing where they're just like, there's a problem at the northern border. Like, nobody says that.
They always let us in. It's the opposite. I think it's when Americans are coming into Canada, it's like, do you have guns?
Yeah. And we built the barrier to keep the Americans out.
Right?
Yeah. That's terrible. No, I think, but to your point, Snow, I think I've already been talking to the other guys about it. Because I can't stand for this. Like, we cannot allow this to go untouched. This has to be addressed. And so I'm with you there. Probably a northeast or eastern meetup would be cool. I think a lot of folks in the Midwest were talking about a meetup.
Yeah.
Like
I
St.
think
Louis.
I think the first date is that we need to pick a date and say, okay, this is going to be the date. Who can host? And everyone can then pick a bar or a local place that they could rent, or get together.
I'm
and
under
then
the age of 21, so I cannot drink if it's gonna be within the next year or two.
So is it?
Right.
So you gotta.
We'll get you drunk. No, don't worry. Don't worry about that.
We'll get some folks. Maybe Cobra will be there. He'll slip you some drinks.
Fuck yeah.
I know a Jack that makes really good fake IDs. So
imagine if I ever said that when I was a teenager. I'm
Dirty
just not old enough
birds.
to drink. I just can't party with you guys because I'm not old enough to drink yet.
Yeah. And see, I was the kid begging people to contribute to the delinquency of a minor. So I almost feel like I have to pass the torch.
Pay it forward.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Pay it forward. So Snow, I think just like me, I think you should be bugging the shit out of people. I'm for it. Like, let's do it. Like, let's have multiple US meetups. And so I think we'll try to figure out, I think we could figure out, and folks like in that area too can help really facilitate that, right?
Mm-hmm.
DM21 Gaming is out there. Cobra's out there. Ivy Mike is out there. Dan Before Time. I think we could definitely get some regional places going. Maybe something in the Midwest or in the South region. Because I think for me, the South would be like something like Texas would be a little bit out of my reach, but something like St. Louis or Denver. Well, Denver's an 8. Maybe we'd have to see, but yeah, I'm open to it. Like, I'm open. I don't. I would love to see if I can do a Eastern meetup. That would be because I want to see New York City anyway. So if maybe it could be like a New York City / Boston / DC.
And New York City's great.
I think it's a good idea if it can be, if there's a way, like an upcoming event. I've seen a couple people mention it, like we have PAX West here in Seattle coming up in next week, and that's just for the folks that have to travel, like maybe have to fly, and so you have your meetup for a day, and then you have a day or two of this event just to kind of incentivize them to come along and maybe have something else to do to kind of stay for a couple days rather than fly up, have the meetup, and then fly back the very next day.
Yeah, I've seen multiple people say West Coast too. Voldemort bro just said it, West Coast. Kyle Culver is in the West Coast. I know he would love, him and I have been talking about a potential for a Western meetup as well. Like, I think we can do this.
Kyle can go to hell.
He could travel his ass to hell. Oh man,
Right.
like
It's a bit of an inside joke.
Yeah.
I actually really like Kyle, and so does the missus. So that's why I always say that he can go to hell, because she's always going on about how he looks like Matthew Good. Oh, is that the Matthew Good looking guy? Oh, he's good looking guy. Oh, he's really.
isn't it funny when your spouse goes on and on about the looks or whatever of one of your peers, and it's just like, hey, you never say those things about me.
Well, plus
her to watch one of my YouTube videos is like pulling teeth. It's like if my YouTube video is more than 2 minutes, she'll even say it. If it's more than 2 minutes, and I'll be like, it's like 2:45. I don't know, and I'll be like, do you want to watch one of these Kyle videos? It's like 40 minutes long. And she's like, oh yeah, put that on, put it on.
I want you to show more appreciation for what I do. Accept me, yeah.
I'm a peaceful gamer right now. Eat shit, Kyle. Just die.
Yeah,
and Kyle also met Sean
nice
Murray
guy.
and had those wonderful pictures to show as well.
I wonder.
Actually,
I don't
take
think
that back, because he did superimpose my face in one of those. So thank you, Kyle.
Yeah, that was fantastic.
I wonder. Well, Kyle went through a lot of stuff to make that happen too. Like he's one of the only like 2 people I think that's actually had a meeting with Sean Murray. I think it was Kyle and Starman in the UK. That's a sighting that is wondrous to behold. There, I mean, I don't know that Starman coordinated his, but Kyle definitely had to pull some strings with the things that he does. Like, and good on
He
them.
was determined.
Could you imagine just having just a sit down brain to brain with Sean Murray? Like, that sounds mind blowing to me.
Wouldn't happen. I'd just be drooling the whole time.
Yeah.
Oh man, guys, so good. I like your game very much. Thank you. Bye.
I love your game. I think your shirt's cool. I love the way you talk. Can I buy you a drink? That's true.
Okay, bye.
I'd be fawning. I'm with you. I'd be fawning as well.
I'm not good around famous people.
I can't remember the last time I was around a famous person. I was this close. I had Keanu Reeves in my town before I moved here. It was kind of funny because people know how much, like, my friends on Facebook know how much of a Keanu Reeves fan I am. And I'm making like spaghetti, right? Like, I'm in the process of like breaking those hard spaghetti noodles and putting them in boiling water. And my phone is losing its shit. Like, it's vibrating so much it's dancing on the table. And I'm like, what's going on here? And I look, and I'm just getting text after text. Keanu Reeves is in town, and I'm like, excuse me? And sure enough, he showed up at one of the pubs, like literally 3 minutes down from my house, because he owns a motorcycle business.
Yeah, he's big into bikes.
Yeah, he loves bikes, and it just so happens that one of the either distribution or like actual assembly shops is just in that region, and so he was doing a visit for it. So he just stopped by one of the Irish pubs in that area, which, Wisconsin has a lot of fucking bars. They do a lot of drinking over there. And so, yeah, apparently the news that he was in that pub was hours ago, and I was just now getting in, so I was just like, one of life's regrets. Yeah. I think I'd probably short circuit in his presence anyway. I would. I'd be like a fembot, just.
And he's so quiet and introverted, so it would make it even worse, because it'd be like both of us would just be staring at each other. Hey, so I'll see you later then. Okay, bye.
Exactly. I'd be like, you're Neo. You're like my favorite thing ever. That's some news today. To be like, hey, how are you excited to be Neo again and be 50-something?
Yeah. And still doing most of his own stunts. Like, what a maniac.
That's true. That's true. Like, John Wick 3 was off the chain. Like, I'm not even kidding.
That was insane.
Phenomenal.
The judo that he does in that movie. Oh my god.
Just chopping people.
He knows every martial art in the world.
Like
in real life.
I think we've got a good thing going. I think we've got Beyond is a great update. I have some ideas. I am currently writing a review for it. However, I'm probably not going to put that review out until I know things are stable and fixed enough because, I'm not trying to bait for clicks and get a reactionary video review out there when I know damn good and well things aren't in a good place. So I did originally do a review for the game at launch, like in its first week. But I kind of want to revisit that now, and like its 3-year anniversary. So I'm looking forward to putting that out probably in the next 2 to 3 weeks, just to give them enough time to make sure things are working. I mean, it doesn't mean I can't talk about bugs in the launch, but it also means that I'm giving them the time to do. They're not a AAA game, right? They might have had the AAA marketing, whatever. Right? That doesn't mean it was AAA funded, right? So, and it doesn't mean it has the AAA manpower. Could it pass for a AAA game like now? Sure. For the amount of money that it's earning, probably.
Pretty buggy for a AAA game, though. It's best.
Have you seen Keanu's gun work? Yeah. Yeah, there's like videos on YouTube where he's just taking dummies to town, like making it look easy. I want to do that. Like, as much as I dislike guns, conceptually, I play an awful lot of games with guns in them.
I love guns, man.
Yeah,
I love guns. I just don't shoot people with them.
Yeah, I like watching people die in movies and video games with guns, just not so much in real life.
Very violent video games. I'm actually a nice guy in real life.
Yeah, the Modern Warfare Alpha is this weekend, and I'm very much looking forward to shooting people with that. That just sounds so much fun. I love COD, but
Destiny 2 has been a blast too.
Yeah, that launches on Steam in like a little over a month. I'm excited. I'm getting sick of playing Destiny in 30 frames per second because I don't know. There's something about shooters, and particularly PvP shooters with 30 frames, but it just sort of weirds me out. I think Destiny's fun. I just suck at it. I'm just gonna own it. I'm not that good at it. Like normally on PvP games, I'm pretty formidable, but not Destiny unless I'm pretty wired. Like if I'm wired, like there are days that I am dialed in and everything dies. But there's no in between. Like either I am sucking and I'm supporting you with assists. There you go. There's the assist. You're welcome, right? And then other times I'm yelling at you because I'm carrying you, right? I'm like, what are you doing? Where's everybody? Why are you negative? Why is the whole team negative? That's more of a COD thing, but I'm interested to see where the game goes in the next few days. We just had a console patch. It seems, correct me if I'm wrong, but consoles got like 4 patches last week. Was it 3 or 4? I can't remember. There was a lot of patches last week, particularly on PC, but console, for sure, those platforms got quite a lot of attention too. They have a little bit of a different process, right? Those patches have to be certified, and those things have to go through sort of a rigorous, make sure you're not going to blow up our consoles with your stupid update type of fashion, right? I'm assuming that's what certification is. But
and it was 4.
It was 4 of them. Yeah, I thought it was 3 or 4, but there was a lot of them. And for the most part, things are stable, which I appreciate. I had 2 more lockups tonight in the Nexus, just sort of sitting there. So that was unfortunately a thing. And there's still a lot of glitches, still a lot of bugs. Is somebody echoing?
And there will be for. Yeah, I was going to say someone's got to mute their.
Sorry, that's me.
Oh, it's no. Okay, gotcha. YouTube. We got it.
There will be a lot of bugs for a long time.
And my microphone is speaker actually.
Okay. Are we good?
But yeah, hey LZ.
Uh-huh.
Back onto the meetup. I actually just took a look at the Pennsylvania map area, near the Harrisburg area.
Yeah.
There's a Dave and Buster's nearby, Camp Hill, Capital Area Mall. What do you think of having a Pennsylvania meetup, No Man's Sky meetup, Capital Area Mall, at the Dave and Buster's?
Dave & Buster's sounds like an interesting location.
I can't
Movie
use.
and
Is that
arcade.
like a drink and play arcade machine?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's sort of like an eat and play type of thing, and you go and buy chips and stuff. I've never been in one. I have one here, but I'd be interested in trying one. I think what we should do, because I'm pretty sure folks like, I think Cobra is in that general territory, if I remember right.
Yeah, he's got Dave and Buster's in Columbus.
And I think, so I mean, yeah, there will probably be some travel involved, for
Yeah.
these, for quite a bit of us, right? Which would probably,
Not for me.
I would say at the
I could take a bus
earliest,
to Harris.
for us to do a meetup, we would probably need to like plan for it to be like next year, right? Like spring or the Echoes are still going. I don't hear them anymore.
Sorry.
I was hearing them when they're gone.
I think what I'm gonna do is like this Saturday is that Toronto Fan Expo. Get a bunch of people to stand with me and take like a bunch of selfies and pictures and shit, and then I'm just gonna start blasting it on all the UK guys' Twitters and be like, "Look at the Toronto NMS meetup we had, man, at the Toronto Metro Convention Center. There's like thousands of people here in your face, UK."
Yeah, I would say let's keep that conversation going. Let's take some time. Maybe we can have some folks take the lead on this, right? Because I'm not really Eastern Territory. I'm Midwest. So Pennsylvania or Ohio or New York or something like that might be out of my reach. But I want to entertain it too. Next year might be a little bit tight for too much travel for me because I've got a 2-week vacation that's already booked in November for Europe because this badass is going wine tasting in Italy.
Ooh.
You son of a bitch! I thought you were gonna say you're going to UK.
And just so
for
you
NMS.
know, this was not paid for by me, so I don't have a choice. So this was this one came down as a gift from the parents for honeymoon because I've been married for 10 years and we never had one. So my mom swooped in and you're like, guess what? We're going to Italy and you're going, damn it. And I'm like, okay. Who am I to say no? So,
Yeah, you can't turn that down.
yeah, who the hell would say no to that? And I've never been out of the country anyway, so I'm looking forward to that. So yeah, that's going to be a thing for that. And something else is happening at the end of the year too. I forget, but Yalcha asked a good question. I'm happy to see, and I kind of want to close out the show on this one. What are your thoughts on whether No Man's Sky or not will continue to live update to update?
I think it depends on what they do with the Nexus and with community events. I think we'll know in the next month or so a much better, clearer answer of, what we're going to be able to do going forward. But I think if they did the multiplayer right and some of these multiplayer missions a little bit more in depth, that a lot more people would continue playing outside of the update season.
Mm-hmm.
I'd echo that. I'd agree. I would say that as long as they have to give you a reason to want to log in every day. And games like MMOs and online RPGs and things like that, they do that so well. There's not just daily rewards and things like that, but just that grind. You have to have that grind to want to log in every day at the end game too. I'm not talking just from a new save. If they continue with updates, I think they're done with their major updates. But if they continue with updates, weekly events, or things like that, I think that's a step in the right direction. That'll keep the game alive.
What do you think the reception would be if? What do you think the reception would be if they sort of moved exclusively to supporting the online function, and just sort of left everything kind of as it is now? Otherwise,
that's what I wanted. On NMS Online, I just thought No Man's Sky Online, they're going to blow it wide open. What is it on PlayStation? They said it's 8-player lobbies in the Nexus or something, and then I think PC is 32.
Yeah.
I was expecting like full ESO online, like you're just going to see everybody running everywhere.
Yeah.
And I think that maybe we will see that. I think this is just a start, just as the orbs were a start to multiplayer. kind of do things in baby steps as a test and to see how we react as well. I think they're really sensitive with the community, and it's evident in how they implement their updates. And yeah, I just I forgot what I was talking about.
He's been hitting that bowl over there. Durgan says, "What's the obsession with endgame? It's the end of the game. Go play something else." I think a game can have an end game and still be an open like Minecraft has an end game.
Skyrim.
Nothing ends.
For a lot of No Man's Sky players, this is the game, though. You know, for me, it's the game. There's the other games I'll play for a little bit and be done, and No Man's Sky is the one that I always want to go back to, and I think a lot of players are in that same.
Been playing it for 3 years. Haven't needed one. That's true.
The end game is the game, I think. Yeah, like you want to get there and continue. Like it's all about exploration and doing what you want. You want to have all your ships. You want to have all your stuff maxed, the best equipment that you can get for that end game experience. I think of games like Skyrim and stuff like that. One to the level cap. You can just do what you want. And No Man's Sky is no different. You can do that from the beginning as well, but
yeah,
once you get through all the quests and everything like that, then it just becomes doing what you want. You're playing the game how you want to play. And Sean Murray said himself in an interview that everybody seems to play it differently. Some people argue over it. They say, why do you do this so much? You know, and why do you do that?
Why do you milk everything?
Yeah, or try to. Apparently,
is that what this game is for you? Cross pollination?
You have to bring that up. Now I'm all sad again.
Yeah. I mean, Mason's War is happening if that makes you happier.
Yeah, more Keanu makes me happy. Always makes me happy. Keanu Reeves in No Man's Sky. Okay, that would be it.
That would be another showstopper at E3. Keanu Reeves showing up.
Just keeps yelling him and Sean Murray are in a loop of yelling you're breathtaking at each other. Oh,
you're breathtaking. Yeah, breathtaking. You're breathtaking. That would be. I can just live in that.
Oh yeah.
Two glorious people yelling you're breathtaking at each other. That would be breathtaking.
Breathtaking bastards.
Yeah. I want my breath back for a little bit. But with that said, gentlemen and ladies, thank you so much for joining in the LZ. Thank you so much for the support and the donations. Apparently we made a hardware fund thing tonight, so I'm just gonna hold on to that, and then we're just gonna build it until it becomes something. So
there you go.
That's gonna be lovely. That's
so you're so smoking that $120.
No, I that's gonna actually in a way it's gonna smoke in my account and just sit there, sort of the perpetual burning a hole in your pocket. But I've been considering doing some kind of a campaign for something because this old thing I'm surprised hasn't burnt up already. The power supply in it is 10 years old. I'm not even kidding. It's in like an old 550. I think it's a 550 power supply, and it's just, yeah. It's I'm surprised the thing hasn't exploded. Now I keep it clean. Like I take very good care of my stuff, and I'm just surprised it hasn't just died out of natural causes. Like just gripped its chest and said, "Oh, I'm dying," and died. But yeah, like I'm definitely looking into what's next because there's a lot of stuff happening. This channel is not going anywhere. I want this channel to blow up, and I am really and obviously excited for that. But if my hardware explodes, that kind of leaves me with an old Windows tablet to create content, and that might slow things up a little bit. So I appreciate all the support from all of you. I appreciate folks coming by every day or every Tuesday that we've been doing this. I think this is the 5th show now, and it's just been a fun thing to do. It was something that with work-life balance and stuff like that, it's super helpful, and my wife loves it too. She brought down some chocolate chip cookies earlier. I can't wait to lay in these like a pillow, but. yeah, I'm super excited for what we have, and we're gonna talk more. Obviously, I've got my review in the oven, cooking is cooking along with No Man's Sky Beyond as it is, because we want to make sure that I don't want to cut a review yet until I know that it's in a good spot and treat it fairly with what's due. You know, that makes sense. I think that's because I can't very well be bitching about people on Twitter that do day one reviews for an update that they had no early access for. No cookie for Ivy. I will mail you one, my friend. Or as a matter of fact, maybe if there is in Northeastern a meetup, maybe I can just bring you some. I'll take a Greyhound out there or something, and we'll chill out, eat cookies, and drink beer, and be merry. Yeah, so thank you so much.
Beer.
Sorry? All I heard was and I didn't catch what it was.
Right, that was my Cookie Monster impression. I was just saying I like cookies and beer.
He just saying he likes cookies and beer. That's it.
That works for me. I like the Cookie Monster. I don't know about y'all, but whatever. If it's got cookie in the name, I'll take it. But all right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to stop it from here. And y'all be good. And stay here. Subscribe if you haven't already. We do this every Tuesday night, 8 o'clock Central Time. I'm considering moving it to 7 to accommodate some of our friends in Europe, because I know this is super late at night for them. So I've been talking about that too. So we might move it. But it's every Tuesday night. And I usually put the reminder up about 2 to 3 days before the show goes live, so that way you can hit the reminder button or whatever, and it's sitting there on your YouTube homepage, staring you down, making you wait. But with that said, love you all. Thank you so much for being here. Thanks so much for the support, and see you in the next time. Bye, everybody.